good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. So, we'll have the finals of the Clash of Clans today. All the participants have joined. So, I'll just give the general brief rules and regulations to the participants as well as the spectators. So, rule one, please stay muted. And already we have shared the rules for the participants. So, there will be a presentation for 3 minutes by all the six speakers. First, for team will go, and then the against team. And then after your speeches have ended, there will be a rebuttal section, maximum for 10 to 15 minutes. So audience can raise their questions during the rebuttal. And finally, we'll have a conclusion, 3 minutes. So each representative, one representative from each team, say one from for and one from against, they have to give the conclusion. Maximum is 3 minutes. You can finish it within the given time limit. So this is the general rules. Like yesterday, please keep your camera on and you are not allowed to look into any hints or points because we have given the topic prior. So hope you are prepared and all the best, guys. And also, hi Bharati and Rachna. Thank you so much for joining us. So shall we begin? Bharati, you're not audible.
Yeah, we can start.
Yeah, okay. So who's going to go from the 14 first? Okay, guys, like yesterday, please keep a check on the chat box. Your timeline will be posted there. Last 1 minute. So we'll give you an alert during the last 1 minute. Before that, please don't panic. Keep presenting your points. So who's going to go first from the 14?
Ma'am, I would like to go first.
Okay, all right. Oh, give me a minute, 1 minute. Yeah. So shall we begin? So all the best to everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible clearly?
Yeah, audible. So before that, sorry, I forgot to mention the topic. So the topic for the final is transition in food habits. Is it progressive or retrogressive? So how do we look at the food style change nowadays? So this is what the speakers are going to present today. So Priyanka, please don't look at any.
No, ma'am.
Yeah. Your time starts now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Priyanka, currently pursuing my PhD at University of Hyderabad. Thank you, Science Chronicle, for providing such a beautiful platform. Before going into the topic, I want to wish everyone a very happy National Science Day. So, coming into the topic of discussion, today's topic of discussion is it a progressive or a retrogressive way to having a transition in food habit? I want to go for the motion. Yes, it's a progressive way to have a transition in food habit. I don't want to go in a very informative way, but I want to like to present in a very generalized way. I want to start with taking an example of a plant and a parasite. If I ask anyone to judge in between a plant and a parasite, then everyone will go for the plant in terms of lifestyle because it's preparing its own food, it's independent, it's growing in a natural environment, taking the sunlight and everything. Whereas a parasite is completely dependent upon the host for its survival. So, but if I look in terms of an adverse condition, a parasite can thrive a better adaptation rather than a plant. So, exactly in the evolving world, in the present scenario, to thrive today's world, a mankind need a change in its food habit. And no doubt, mankind is always the superior in the society, and it has evolved its food habit in a more progressive way. And the best example I can cite is the way to the space. An astronaut cannot carry a thali full of rice, dal, sambar chutney to the space and stay there for 365 days. But it can carry a dilute sugar tablet and a supplement containing the exact nutritive value and exact amount of supplements and stay there healthily for years. And this is the way we have evolved in our food habits during this change from the classic world to the modern world. It's not like that everything has a positive side, everything has a negative side. It depends upon the mankind where it is looking. That it is either the positive side is heading towards the development of the prebiotic, probiotic, insulin, the way to the space, whereas the negative side is heading towards the way of alcohol, junk food, and everything. So it completely depends upon the mankind where we are looking into it. So if we look into previous world also, it's not like the classical habitat has been completely changed. It's just that we have modified the classical food habit in a better, more modified way, in a minimized way, but having more nutritive value, more more medicinal value. Today, if we look into lifespan also, it has previously it's very hard to stay for 40 years, but now we have been gained to 80 years of lifespan. How it has been evolved? It's not only the health department that has improved, it is the lifestyle, it is the food habit that has helped us to grow in such a beautiful manner. It's always depend upon the mankind how we are thriving our situation too, whether we are heading into a positive side, whether we are heading into a negative side. If we look into the classical world, we are taking the basili for tulsi with honey. We are, in the modern world, we are not stop taking that one. We are taking the exact component in terms of tablet. If we look into the previous food habit, it's just the curd we are taking without know the exact benefit. But today we are taking it as a prebiotic and also taking the probiotic and prebiotic to help the microorganisms thriving in our body. So it's just that we have changed our intake of the food. It's just that we have compactized it. It is just that we have increased our nutritive value, minimizing the intake of food. So it is completely depend upon the mankind where we are looking into it. It's depend upon the mankind. Yes, I want to conclude. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Priyanka. So, who's going to go next from four?
Ma'am, I would like to go.
Okay, okay, Abhishek. So, participants, please keep in mind the 1 minute alert is where you have to start concluding. So, you can complete within the given time limit. Okay. Yeah. So, your your 3 minutes starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I am Abhishek and I am here to present for the motion. I would like you all to imagine a situation. Imagine it's 9 p.m. and already you are late and you are also tired. After going home, you will have to cook. And after when you go home, you see a packet of noodles. You'll obviously go for a packet of noodle. Then you can chill with Netflix or something else. So we could see from this anecdote how fast food has came in our lifestyle. It is not always bad that fast food is always bad, as my opponents would point out, and it's not uh, only uh, only way to look at transitioning food habits to not only look at fast food and junk food. There are many other aspects of transitioning. The first one being balancing and balancing. If we take everything in balance, then we could easily do a proper maintain a proper lifestyle. Then the second example is of minimalism. Instead of intaking everything, if we know the proper nutritive value and take in a proper amount, then it will be obviously beneficial than eating a lot. Then we see a lot of people transitioning from non-vegetarian to veganism and vegetarianism. There must be reason for that. As we are aware of population is increasing day by day and we need to feed all. So we need to find ways by which we could feed all. So we could do this by transitioning also include use of genetically modified organisms or crops. We could also use hybrid crop. The best example is of SCPs, that is single cell proteins. Then we all are aware that food is practiced means food is accepted everywhere. Even the rivals nation you eat same food. So we could use this food and transitioning as soft power to change to lead to progression. And we instead we could also always start from ourselves. First, we could we could practice a smart move by eating in limits rather than overeating, or by saying I will eat vegetables, more vegetables. Instead we could say I will eat half cup of vegetables every alternate day in evening. So I would like to end by saying that we should start from ourselves. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Abhishek. So, who's going to go next? The last speaker from 14.
Ma'am, I'm there.
Okay. Yes, Sudhanshu.
All right. I'll be starting in three, two, one. Honorable Speaker, when we talk about transition in food habits, it is basically just like breathing. That is, it comes naturally to you. You have to opt for the modern day habits because it is something that is natural, and if you don't opt for the same, you are going to lag behind. Honorable Speaker, three things from side proposition. First, when we say that transition in food habits is basically progressive, what we mean that whatever the transition that we are seeing in the current world, it is a favorable change and it should be upheld. So three constructive for the same. First, it will definitely be in the health prospectus because now we are going to give you examples for the same. Second, the industry that is being carried out, for example, as my previous speakers have pointed out, the fast food industry, it is also comes in the billions, which I'm going to give you statistics for the same. And thirdly, Honorable Speaker, we believe that nowadays, because of this transition in food changes, it gives more options for the people to go for whatever they want. Firstly, we need to understand that this debate is not about that going for a healthy food choice or not. Why? Because if person feels ill, Honorable Speaker, the modern day food habit is not responsible for the same, which definitely side opposition is going to point out. We need to understand that how this body system works. For example, even if you go for the idea of modern day food work, for example, if you intake 3,000 calories, but you don't go for the exercise and burn out 4,000 calories, you are going to be fat and you are going to be lazy. So whatever the health problem lies in the current world, it is not because of the modern day food habits that side opposition is going to blame on like pizzas and burgers, but it is just because of the lack of physical activities that we perform due to the trend. So they need to explain us that why they are going to blame modern day food habits for the same, but not the idea of people not indulging in the same. Honorable Speaker, we have many examples, whether it is the use of olive oil, which reduces the idea of cancer, or whether it is the yogurt that basically is coming out with the plant milk, and it is very much beneficial. These are also the modern day benefits or modern day food that most of the people opt for. Now the fact here is we need to understand that when we talk about the food industry, the junk food industry, American study have reported that it is accounted for $647.7 billion in United States itself, and it creates employment opportunities of 48 lakhs. Honorable Speaker, we don't need to only talk about the idea of from the consumer health perspective, but when we talk about progressive or retrogressive, you need to talk about from the entire society perspective. So you need to talk about the economics as well, Honorable Speaker, because the MNCs that are set up, for example, KFCs or these McDonald's, we need to take that into account as well. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, we need to understand the choices that we get. Obviously, there are many institutes in America, they have made it minded that whenever you take any modern day healthy food, for example, burger, they already prescribe you, okay, you are going to get 300 calories. Now it's perfectly up to you whether you want to get it or not. So obviously, when we take modern day food, irrespective of traditional one, if we go for the idea of, that what you say, like exercise, obviously we are going to be in fit sense, but Honorable Speaker, it is natural. You have to opt for that, otherwise you are going to lag behind. With this, I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sudhanshu. So, can we hear it from the opposite team? People who are going to talk against. So, who's going to go first?
Yes, ma'am, I will be. Just a sec. Ma'am, you need speech only. I hope I am audible and visible.
Yeah, okay. So, Gauri, your presentation time starts now.
All right. So, firstly, a very warm good evening to one and all present here. I would like to speak about the topic transition in food habits is retrogressive. So, our body is created by stars, but it runs on fuel, not petrol or biogas, but food. The quality and quantity of the food we consume sets the parameters of how our internal and external body parts are ought to function. With the modern lifestyle, when people are moving away from swings and seesaws and spending most of their time indoors playing video games, the right consumption of food and regular body exercise has become even more need of the hour. According to the statistics, at the age of people who fall prey to diabetes has certainly reduced. The estimated 85% of type 1 diabetes patients take place under the age of 20 years. This means that teenagers have started developing diseases which we often found in 45 years aged adults before. This is certainly all thanks to the quick and easy method of consuming food named as fast food.
Do you know that fast food was actually developed for people who planned road trips or outings, and it was difficult for them to cook food while they were on the trip? Hence, they packed their sandwiches, burgers, and soft drinks in their trunks. But adopting this method as the new eating trend is pretty sad and unfortunate. As a result of these Western eating habits, the average age of people has also witnessed a considerable downfall. We all must agree to the fact that people in villages still tend to live longer due to regular exercise and nutrition rich food. Instead of adopting healthy eating techniques from our own piece of land, we tend to mimic the Western style of packaging food, hence destroying the physical as well as the mental growth of our youthful nation. With the new favorites being pizzas, burgers, pastas, and smoothies, one naturally doesn't really care about homemade lauki ki sabzi because it's not really a fancy word to pronounce and not even so colorful. However, we must contemplate that the food we give to our own machine not only has an impact on our internal and external system, but also on our mental health. And this has been scientifically proven. You would find children in the range of 10 to 15 years carrying their bellies around and stuffing their hot dogs in their mouths. It is all right to give your kids the right treatment, the right kind of treat, but chewing on cheese and breads all the time hardly provides them with any kind of right nutrition. As a result, they feel frustrated and lazy and incompatible. I would like to rest my case by stating that changes or transitions are inevitable. It's not just a part of life, but the rule of life. Now it's in our hands which direction we want to change this, we want to take this change to. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gauri. So, can we hear it from the next person?
Yes. Well, I can't see my video. Just
Yeah, you're not seen. Hello?
log in from another device.
Yeah. Please do it.
I'm so sorry. I didn't expect this. Oh my god. Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I cannot see you, Harshini, actually.
Exactly when I.
Okay. Until
I
you fix,
can just,
can the next person talk?
yeah, I'll just like to say that maybe the next person can go.
Yeah. So who's left? Yeah, okay.
So I'll start.
One minute, Atharva, 1 minute. I'll just. So yes, Atharva, your preparation time starts now. Sorry, your time starts now.
Hello everyone. So my teammate talked about the type of food that we've been consuming, but I would also like to mention the time at which we're consuming this food. So today's life, we are all living hectic lives, right? Our eating schedules are completely disoriented. One day we might decide to have food at 9 o'clock. The other day we might have work pressure, or we might have assignments that we want to submit, and we have food at 10:30. So what happens is that this can lead to disastrous consequences because all of us have certain circadian rhythms, which are biological clocks that are suited to the environment. So we need to give our body certain time to digest the food before we sleep. So that was what was happening in earlier times. In earlier times, people were much more relaxed and they had much more stricter schedules. So they used to eat at certain times, they used to sleep at certain times. And so their circadian rhythms and biological clocks were completely oriented with the environment and they used to live healthier lives. Right? And the second point I want to put forward is the habit of wasting food. In today's life, if you look at, like all of you must have gone to buffets, right? And you can clearly see all people are just piling food onto their plate as much as they can. And once their stomachs are full, they just waste it, right? Those people think that when it's raining, food is falling down instead of water and they have an abundance of food that they can waste. And this is not the case, right? We have a lot of food crisis going on, so we should not try to waste food. Because in earlier days, people used to say that food is next to God. And since they did not have the huge amount of food that we have now, they used to, every morsel was precious for them, right? And the next thing are certain habits that we've lost over the ages. Like the most important one that I can think of is the process of fermentation. If you ask anybody about fermentation today, most likely they'll just say that wines or beers or some other alcoholic products. In India, you also have dahi or curd, but the transition is that the curd that we are eating is packaged, and packaged curd does not have the microbial content that homemade curd has, and it also has a lot of preservatives to increase its shelf life. And so if I take a name of few fermented products that we used to have in earlier times, we had kombucha, we had kefir, we had sauerkraut, and all of these were packed with probiotics which improved our immunity. So nowadays what is happening is that we are eating foods which are high in calories, we're eating foods which just give us weight, and the probiotic content and the antioxidant content is decreasing. So we're eating food which is of poor quality. And our tastes are also changing. Like in earlier days, we used to eat fruits after lunch. Nowadays, everybody wants cakes, everybody wants ice creams. So these are just high calorie foods which will increase our weight. They're not going to provide us antioxidants and boost our immune system or our health in the way that foods of the earlier times used to. So that is why I think that we are actually retrogressing in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Atharva. So Harshini, can we hear it from you?
Yeah, sure. So firstly, apologies. I really didn't expect this to happen with my internet. All right. So I'd like to raise a point which Abhishek raised a few minutes back. It's about, I totally agree on the fact that the modern society is much more busy. They have more tight schedules than what we had. But what too many individuals forget is that or what the name itself suggests, fast food. Many of us, we miss on the most important act while eating food, which is called chewing. Most of us, as much as I hate to admit, including me, simply wash down the food that we put. This leads to serious diabetes, and poorly chewed food become an obstacle for the body to absorb nutrition the way it has to. And more importantly, by poorly chewing food, what we miss is the delicious taste that. And the next point, the more important point that I would like to raise is seasonal. Using long back, much before globalization and way before the transportation of food mechanism, before all that, what were the food that they grew on that time of season. You see, the cycle of seasonal produce perfectly designed to support our health. And for this, specifically, asked my grandma how she ate when she was young. This was the exact answer that she gave me. She ate things that she got and buy locally. So eating seasonally is the natural way to eat and one of the most beneficial things we can do for our bodies. Eating seasonally also does is improve the scope of local produce. We start by local. And like Sudhanshu mentioned earlier about the economic benefits, why topics like these. Going local and buying seasonal food from the local market could potentially increase the economic benefit. We start from what local people produce and hence increase their revenue, contrary to those of what we spend in grocery markets. So yes. Desserts, as many of my friends mentioned before, eating junk foods, especially that we're not adopted to, could lead to many digestive problems in our digestive tracts. It could also lead to many cardiovascular diseases, as opposed to when we eat ghar ka khana, the food that we. So, yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Harshini. So the presentations by all the 6 speakers is done. So now rebuttal is going to happen. Again, people from for, you can question your against team, your opponent, and against can question your opponent, that is for. So who is going to start the rebuttal? One at a time. So
ma'am, I have one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Who's this, please?
So, the problem, ma'am, Sudhanshu.
All right. Yes, go ahead.
All right. So, ma'am, the opposition side needs to understand that this debate is not about the modern day practices that we are doing, whether we are being lazy or whether we are not giving much attention or health. My question to them is that I have pointed out that the reason of being unhealthy is lack of physical practices, not the healthy food or not the modern day food. So even they have also agreed to the fact that okay, since because of less of parental control, these are the happening. My question is that how you are going to blame modern day food for the same, not the laziness of the people.
Can I counter that?
Yeah. Yes, go ahead. So I'll just
Uh,
intimate your last 5 minutes. So you can have your rebuttal. Go on.
Okay, yeah. So I wanted to counter by saying that we don't just exercise to get rid of all these things, right? So you have preservatives in today's food. In olden days, people used techniques like fermentation, but nowadays you put so much preservatives in food that immediately they have a bad effect on you. Any food that you look at, it will have a 9-month shelf life, a 10-month shelf life. How is it going to be possible unless you put chemicals that are bad for your body? And we've started doing this in the recent times, right? We want to increase the length of shelf storage, so we've used preservatives, a lot of them.
All right. So, sir, on quick note on that, like there is this quick services in the United States of America, which have made it mandatory that whatever the ingredients you are going to use in your food, you have to point it out. I agree to the point that there are certain food ingredients which might not be unhealthy, but again, on that few exception case, you are not going to generalize the entire modern day food healthy habits. My question to you is again that there is this report by Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. They have rightly pointed out that $117 billion that is spent on the weakness of the people, the, like health issues, it is just because of lack of physical exercises that they don't perform, rather than not the intake of food that they actually involve. So, what's your take on that?
All right, I would like to come to that. Atmago, if you want to again. All right then. So blaming it on food instead of the people. I don't think it's a right take on the topic that we are getting. Firstly, because see, you can't blame food. Like, see, I can go out and eat a burger from McDonald's and blame them instead of blaming myself. I get that. That's your question, but it's not the way we take a stand on this topic.
So, what's the take on this topic then? This
What we
entire
have to
topic is
realize
about that.
is that you can't really go out and if you want to lead a healthy modern lifestyle, then it's also imperative that we take some stance on how we utilize these.
Side opposition, if you can clarify that, what is your actual stand? Like, if you don't have problem by going outside, eating burger, having the idea of modern day food, what's your basically like stand on this motion?
It's more about
You are
it's
then
more
and there
about the
contradicting
style
yourself.
that we look at it. It's more about the style.
Hmm.
Guys, Atharv, do you want to say something or should I
Yeah,
continue?
so I can go, but like when you say we don't exercise, like right, you can't blame us that we don't exercise. The food that we're eating is not healthy because if you look at any biscuit content, if you look at a biscuit content, it's going to have palm oil in it, and you know what palm oil is? It's just saturated oils which are bad for
Right.
us. In earlier days, did
Right.
you have palm oil? You did not used to have palm oil, right? You used to have ghee. You used to have other products that were healthy for us. So
Right.
if you are eating healthy food, you can reduce the amount of exercise that you're doing. But if you're continuously eating bad food or fast food or food that has saturated fatty acids, of course you're going to have to exercise. And if you don't exercise, is it your fault or is it the food that you're eating?
All right. So basically, sir,
I would like
even
to add to this.
right.
Okay. So there was this diet plan that I came across, and the lady who was actually assisting me along with it, she stated clearly that if you are not controlling on your diet and merely just exercising, your value of losing calories is zero. So basically, it's just 10% exercise and 90% of the food we eat. So people who are dietitians or they take care of their bodies, they hardly get time to exercise because they're so busy. However, they know what they're eating, they see what they're eating, and they merely focus on low calorie food and fibers such as food and vegetables. So food is
I
the
disagree.
main game over here. So that's what I, yeah.
Okay,
I
can I?
disagree with I disagree with the Gauri's point. I would like to say it's not only food, 90% food and 10% exercise. It
Right.
also means the way we consume food means if we reduce the size of plate, we'll end up in consuming less food. So isn't it transitioning?
Okay, sir,
Okay.
I would just like to say that when we say that we have been taught since our very childhood that we should take a balanced diet, we should have the correct amount of vitamins, minerals, zinc, phosphorus, everything. That means that we have to take different category of everything so that we can, we can have the consumption of our vitamins and minerals in order to function our body properly. That does not mean that I will eat only one roti or I will eat only like a certain amount of like I will reduce the size of my plate. That does not
All,
mean we need to have a bit of everything so that we can be satisfied with the food that we eat.
ma'am, the problem you need to understand here is for a wrestler, they have to go for intaking lots of things. The point is, if I'm intaking 3000 calories, being a wrestler, I have to go for the workout of 4000 calories so that I will be in shape. It is not about the amount of food you intake, it is about the exercise that you need to do after that so that you can be in perfect shape. Now, my question to you is again on the point. In this globalized world, for example, the culture of Japan, you also pointed out, your team pointed out that it is quite difficult for people who are working. How can we go ahead with this idea of making rice and dal at that time when I can have this mobility of using a hamburger at the same time? How you are going to tackle that?
So that is
Okay,
what we
so
are
I
also.
would just like, yeah, Athar,
Yeah,
you
you
can
go.
go.
You go.
Athar, you go.
No, you. That's fine. No, I just wanted to say that our habits are becoming those ways, right? So it's not something that we can change, but we are discussing on why these habits are bad, not on how we can change these habits, right?
Just to tackle Atharva, I'm just adding that if you look into the topic, no, the topic itself is too clear that transition in the food habit and the word habit itself is a personal choice. It's not like it's a rule you have to take the first food. You have completely option that you can take healthy food. It's not like the vegetable market hasn't stopped. It's
Right.
not like the hot dog is only the option you are left with. It's completely habit. Habit is an independent personal choice. So it if you will go into a supermarket, there will be a section for alcohol, there will also be a section for fruits. It depends upon you that what you want to pick with the same amount of money. So in today's world with this globalization, as you have already pointed out, we don't have that much of time. So when you have a same amount of supplement providing that nutritive value without any health hazards, and you have to go for a like after a too busy day, you have to cook for 1 hour. Then where you will go to, whether you will prefer to cook or whether you will prefer to have a fruit salad or something like a probiotic or prebiotic. I just want to answer for that.
Yes,
I would
just
like
on
to
that
ask
point. Yeah, please.
I would like to ask Gauri. Means she mentioned in her speech that people tend to prefer pizza or pasta over lauki ki sabji. I would like to ask her what did do she means she eats lauki ki sabji.
Yes, I do. And I can call my mom if you want to ask her that
Yeah.
if I do or
Okay.
not.
And won't you like to prefer eat a Loki in a new way? Means as I mentioned, we could practice
Right.
transitioning by following new same
Great one.
same
Yeah.
Loki cooking in different way from different place. Isn't
Okay.
this transitioning?
Yes, sir. I would
And
like
it is better.
Good.
Okay, sir, I would like to counter your point by giving an example. When Navratras are in function, Navratras, then Domino's has a special scheme of, that Vrat ka khana. They have a special Vrat ka khana wala. They have a special column for it. However, none of my contacts, like my mom or anybody in my contacts, has ever been to Domino's to try that food because they're very much skeptical. Is that food healthy or not? But if we create that home, that Vrat ka khana at home, we are very much satisfied that okay, this food is not touched by anybody but my own hands, and I have created it, so I will be very much safe by consuming this food. Same goes with this. Whenever we eat some kind of a healthy food, it gives us a different satisfaction. And I hope
Yes,
that
on that
everyone
front.
over here
Yes,
will
ma'am.
definitely agree with me that when we eat ghar ka khana, it gives us a different satisfaction than when we eat a McDonald's ka burger. Okay, you can have it as a treat, definitely, and you can have it when you don't have any other option. But the satisfaction comes when we are at home.
Ma'am, great point. On
Exactly,
that
even
point,
answering. Okay, I
just a
just
second.
want to say
On
one
that,
line that Gauri itself answered her question that if she is preferring that lauki ki sabji, she is preferring that homemade food over the Domino's, then it completely depends upon you that what you are choosing. If she is choosing, then everyone will choose. If you have a healthy mindset, it depends upon the person's psychology. If the person is choosing to have a healthy lifestyle, then he can go for it. If he's not not stable from how his mindset, then he can't choose the positive one. Okay, Sudhanshu, you can go.
All right then.
Gauri ma'am, you have just a second. You have pointed out that you don't go for the McDonald's because you have this presumption that there might be unhealthy. But why do you go for the vegetables vendors when they can also practice this unhygienic thing? It's
Correct.
just based on the assumption. We cannot buy this argument because assumption can lie on any side of the house, right? Because that vegetable vendors from where you purchase vegetables, they might also practice unhygienic things. So again, that completely ruled out. What's your take on that?
Okay, so what I would like to say here is being for a healthy lifestyle. All right. So eating fast food, eating burgers, eating pizzas, pizza, KFC every day could potentially harm your health. Why? Because a lot of intake of sugar could increase your risk of having diabetes. And like we mentioned, like all three of us mentioned before in the start, it could also potentially increase the risk of having cardiovascular problems. So, you know, you and I cannot deny the fact that we have a choice. We can either go for McDonald's or go for the local sabji wala to get what we want and cook. But see, I do agree on the fact that at the end of the day, the choice depends on us, we as individuals. But what we prefer, what is it better for a person to go for in order to lead a healthy lifestyle is instead of going to any fast food joint, you could prefer the local sabji wala and prepare your own food because that way you reduce your risk of contracting obesity and the much more health problems that could be possible if you consume fast food for a long period of time. So yes, see, I agree with the fact that at the end of the day, it is our choice, but we're not fighting for
Right.
that. We're fighting for the fact that whether or not that choice should be a healthier one or a less healthier one.
Ma'am, if I take 10 balls of traditional thing like rice, would I be fat or not? Simple question.
At
Being
that time,
fat
they
or not
didn't
being
used to
fat is
eat
a totally different
just.
thing. In
Right?
order to maintain your health, in order to maintain your health, the calories burned and the calories you take in must be equal. All
Right.
right, and
That
I
depends
can
on
assure
workout.
you,
Guys,
Right. Right.
can I
yes.
ask a question to the opposite team?
Sure, please.
Okay, so first thing, as Abhishek mentioned, that for a larger population that we need to feed, we need transitioning in food. Correct, but sir, what's your take on the saying that kilos and kilos of plastic is being used just to pack that food and sell it? So, what's your take on that? Ultimately,
Obviously,
we
when we
will. Yeah,
right. So
Abhishek sir.
obviously the okay, okay. Abhishek.
Are we talking about plastics and all?
Right.
We,
Right.
we aren't.
I know we aren't, but
No,
it's somewhere connected to the packaged food that you guys are supporting. That is why it's a question of.
Yeah, transitioning doesn't always mean means yeah packaged food. We could also use the different different method. We
Right.
could use
We can also go for paper bags.
yeah. That's
That's
Ultimately.
the
why.
thing. That's the thing that we can go, but are we going? Packaged food consists of a high percentage of
Are
waste
you
material
going?
that we are producing.
Are you going?
Okay.
I would ask.
I don't usually eat burgers or pizzas, not just for this motion, but I'm actually not very fond of fast food. So my
Right.
take on that is pretty clear, but I'm asking you, what's your take on that?
People are
All right. So,
shifting. Yep, there is
um,
transition going on, and it will take some time. At we have recently means realized the problem of plastics and its involvement in food packaging. We have really realized this now, so it will take some time to shift over some other product
no, no,
instead
no.
of
Again,
plastic.
this debate is not about plastic or not. I want to ask you that in your home, how do you carry this rice sugar? In your hand, in the paper bag, or in the plastic? This has necessarily nothing to do with modern day food. When you go to market, how do you carry vegetables? Most of the people carry out in plastic. So again, don't shift the onus on our side of the house that we use plastic and you don't. It is not about that. We will any day be happy to use the paper bag. We will be any day happy to reduce the polythene. But the fact here is this debate is about that whether you can go for the modern day food or not. We will definitely go for the same.
And also transition in the food habit means the food is not restricted to the okay. Okay, transition in the food habit means the here the food is not restricted to the packaged food or the fast food. It's also a
Right.
broad term consisting of the drugs, consisting of the medicinal value, consisting of the food, consisting of vitamins, minerals, and everything. And if you will take in a broader term, no, previously in the classic world, there people are unaware of all those things, and like curing a disease is like a big thing. We knew that cod had some importance, we knew that it's essential for or it's helping in digestion, but in today's world, if in the modern world, we knew that this cod is helping our intestinal bacteria to grow, or it's helping in our intestinal bacteria in a more positive way, it's helping digestion. So we have developed the concept of probiotic and prebiotic. So I'm not speaking, it's not like the food habit is stick to only packaged food, or it's a battle or a debate on the fast food. It's a broader term. Don't look into only the food section in our day-to-day life. It's a medicinal value, it's having some cultural ethics value, and everything is coming to the point when you are talking in the transition. And transition is not a single day change, it's a process of time. So when you are evolving, no, it will take certain time. And if you are talking about plastic, it will also go. We are realizing, and slowly we will overcome this also.
Ma'am, we are done, I guess.
Yeah, I think we need to wrap up.
Yeah, okay, guys. Thank you so much. It was very nice listening to you having your rebuttals. So, can we have the conclusion from for team first? Who's going to conclude? You can take 3 full minutes, but the maximum limit will be 3 minutes. So, if you have missed anything, if you have missed answering any of the questions in the rebuttal, you can take time, but only one person can talk from each team. So, who's going to go
Um,
from the for?
Ma'am, I'll go. Just one request. I need to refer to the paper because the point that is being made by the opposition. Just to give a look.
Sorry, you want it?
I need a paper look. Like I'm going to refer from the paper the points that is made by the opposition.
All right. So, this is your conclusion, but the time limit is
Right.
3 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah? Yeah,
All
start.
right. Honorable Speaker, again, side opposition never engaged into the crux of this debate. They just push around all the irrelevant things that whether you should have parental control, you should have the idea of lack of exercises on that, but they never engage that why they are blaming the modern day food habits when our side has already explained you that modern day habits not only include the junk food but also various like healthy food habits like the olive oil and other stuff like green tea. So they never engaged into the debate. What we have from the first speaker comes and tells that, okay, it is because of the video games, lack of exercise, people are unhealthy. Obviously, we are also saying the same. But again, how you are going to blame modern day food habits for the same? They have never engaged that. Secondly, they also talked about that, okay, their children are mostly eating the unhealthy, unhygienic food. But again, it is lack of the parental control, not health, fast food that you are going to blame for that. The second speakers come and talk about the lack of discipline that we are basically facing. Again, you need to understand that this is very culture, that how globalization works. Fact here is that discipline is something we need to understand that the work that we are now doing is very much different from the traditional work. It involves that any time your boss can call you up and you have to report that. In that scenario, Honorable Speaker, it is not even practically feasible to go for and making rice and dal, the traditional one, but rather than going for a hamburger, which is very portable. And at the same time, we are going to compensate that by working out. And we all know that, Honorable Speaker, it is quite feasible for doing the same. And they talked about buffet system food wastage. I don't know how this is relevant to the modern day, when in the ancient times there was used to be yagya, there was used to be bhoj, where a lot of food wastage was to happen. I'm not going to blame that. So again, irrelevant point not to be noted. And again, I was not able to hear the third speaker, but again, she was also on the more point of the lifestyle, and they basically miss the delicious taste of home food. Believe me, when you are going to try for these pizzas, which are quite healthy, you are also going to love that. It is also delicious. So what we have from side proposition, Honorable Speaker, we believe that it is not about the health only, it is about the economics that you need to take care, because if you don't go with that, you are going to be left behind. I have given you the example of US statistics, how it is $1 billion industry, how it employs more than 48 lakhs. If you are not going to opt for that, you are not advancing for the change. And again, there are the concepts of workout. You can go for this modern day food habit, which gives you more option of more choices. And again, the transition idea, you can also make Loki into various things. It also comes into the modern day thing. So again, with this, I rest my case. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sudhanshu. So who's going to conclude from against?
I will be concluding from against team.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so thank you, opposite team. It seemed like you are concluding for ourselves, but I'd like to conclude from our side again. So from the side of my team, I'll be concatenating all the points that we have come across and put forward. We have discussed rather deeply about topic and how transition in food habits is retrogressive, starting with the Western habits of packaged and frozen foods, which was never a part of India in the olden days. As life has become more commercialized and fast, people started finding quicker ways to consume food, as the staple diet of vegetables, chapati, and rice can be time consuming to cook. However, we also came across the fact that saving time on cooking and consuming the food on the go, we cannot put our own health at stake. Furthermore, if people tend to develop diseases like diabetes, etc., due to unhealthy eating habits, it is very likely that they transfer them into their children, thus leading the country forwards towards unhealthy, youthful nation. As life inside the house has become the new normal in the period of lockdown, people have naturally put on weight. But those who have followed regular exercise, even inside the house, and avoided high calorie food, still have the same shape and size. As I had stated in my speech about the people who stay on the outskirts or in villages seem to have a longer life pertaining to their healthy and active lifestyle. I think that if we do not have time to from our meetings and we tend to grab a hamburger, then how will we even find time to work out after eating that hamburger? So my teammates also put light on the points about casual eating habits and wasting of food. This is certainly because of the corporate trend people have fallen into. Corporate professionals or working professionals reach home late night, unable to find enough time to cook, and hence depend on the 2-minute noodles or packed food for their consumption. But again, the feeling of fatigue and headaches come to them at the very next day of the work due to improper intake of food and lack of nutrition that the body needs, of course. So I would like to rest my case by saying that we may face transition in food habits, but not everything stays forever. People will always need to come back to the nutritious food that we have always been taught of, where they find the absolute satisfaction and escape packaged food. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much to all the participants. Now I leave the session to both the judges because they are the expertise in the topic which you guys have spoken today. So can we hear it from them? Bharti?
So just to clarify, we'll be picking 2 winners in total. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Bharti. Yes.
Okay, all right. So how do you want me to go about this? Give individual feedback or for the for team and for the against team and then announce the winners, or how do we do this?
You can go in the same way that happened yesterday. Like you can give feedback about what each speaker has spoken, and then 2 speakers will be from both the teams. It can be from the same team, irrespective of them being in for or against.
Okay, so I will give my feedback and then the other judge can give hers and then we'll discuss and then announce the winners. Is that okay?
Yeah, maybe you can send me the results. We'll post it in the group. No problem.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, all
All
right.
right. Okay, so first I want to just go through and sort of summarize the points that both teams put forward. So basically the for team has given me these points, that it's not about whether the food habits are healthy or not, but whether the food habits are actually, helping with time and convenience and things like that, right? You said whether it's healthy or not is not really, shouldn't really be taken into consideration, right? If I'm getting any of these points wrong, you can stop me anytime. Okay. So you said it's up to the people to make, to involve themselves in physical activity and then not get the negative impact of the food that they eat. Right. So that was Sudhanshu's point. And also that the food industry right now is worth billions of dollars, and that habits should be blamed and not the food itself. So progression in the food industry shouldn't be blamed, but more about the habits that people practice. Okay. And it's not it's not effective in terms of time. It's not effective to make the food that we used to make previously when we are in a hurry these days, especially when we're trying to work or study. So that was another point that you made. And also the population is increasing. So more and more, convenient foods and easy to produce foods need to be made. Okay, that was another point. And also that the points made by the other team, like food wastage or plastic, increase in use of plastic is not relevant to the topic. So these are the points that I got from the for team. Okay, so now going for the against team, they made some valid points that we did not have packaged or frozen food before, but now we have all of these convenience foods and people don't know how to incorporate that into their lives without, it affecting them. So they are giving up on their food habits, the food that they used to make at home, the conventional way. And people are more incidents of these diseases, cardiovascular, diabetes, etc. And also they pass it on to their offsprings. So we are progressing in a not very healthy way. That was their point. And also Gauri, when she summarized, she pointed out that people who follow food habits that their parents or grandparents practiced, or who ate homemade food did not gain weight, but people who followed modern food habits were gaining weight during the lockdown. Now, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with any of these points yet. I'm just summarizing and trying to understand whether I got all of these right. Okay. So, and her point was also that if people are in a hurry and choosing to, go for these convenience foods, they probably would not have the time to exercise. So it is, so I'm just not clear on that one, because I don't know if you're pointing out the habits of people or the food itself.
Ma'am, I'll restate it for you if you want.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I basically put that point in my conclusion as a counter to Sudhanshu's point, who stated that, when you have a meeting and your boss is on your head, bugging in your ears that you have to finish this work by tonight. So you don't really have time for cooking the meal. You can rather grab a burger. So if that guy has such a strict schedule, then how can you possibly predict that he would have time for exercise? Because all the people I know who are in the corporate business, climbing the corporate ladder, hardly find time to exercise. That is all I wanted to state.
I understood that one, but the thing is, it kind of strengthens his point where the food shouldn't be blamed, but the habits. Like, due to lack of time, the person avoids exercising. They're not able to find time to exercise, and they also choose to go for these convenience foods. So that kind of strengthens the point, but I get where you're coming from. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So
but not possibly, he doesn't have to cook the food himself, right? He can possibly keep a maid or ask his mom to cook the food. I don't cook my own food. I ask my mom to cook it for me. Even I have a very busy schedule. So everything is possible if one is willing to do it, right?
Yes, we can argue about the validity of the points or the the relevance of the points to this discussion in a bit. Right now, I'll finish summarizing. So also, yeah, the against team said that improper nutrition leads to a lot of diseases, and lack of health makes people tired and decreases productivity in workplace. And that is due to the evolving food habits, right? So if I have missed any of the other valid points you guys have made, I have made note of it, just that I couldn't write it down fast enough, okay? So now going into the individual team members. For the team that supported modern food habits. Now, okay. So Priyanka's main points were that it's people's choice, right? It's people's choice to choose what they want, but the availability of food or the convenience that we have these days shouldn't be blamed, right? And you also made another point that we are more knowledgeable these days. Like food habits does not necessarily just mean, you know, what we eat, but also how we approach food. We are more knowledgeable these days. We know what nutrients mean. Like people in the earlier days wouldn't even know which foods had protein. People still don't know. I see that, you know, with all the knowledge around us, information around us, we still don't know some things. And so that is definitely a progressive direction that we are going in. Next, Abhishek. So you said, Abhishek. Okay, yeah, I can see it. So you said, you know, we can always go with minimalism. Like we can make the choices that we want to make and consume the things that we want, and food shouldn't be blamed for it. And also you made some very valid points that genetically modified organisms. So GMO foods are helping with, you know, increasing the productivity of food materials. And also you brought another point up that progression should be done smartly, right? In a smart direction. So, and balance is needed in what we consume. So your points are that the transition in food habits are helping us as a society and with our meeting our food demands, but that we should still follow balance when we practice our own food habits, right? So those were your points. Now, Sudarshini. Okay, who was the third person? Sudhanshu, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so and you said your points were that progression is natural and it's favorable to us to help us survive as a human race, especially with meeting the demands of the population right now. And that if there is any increase or surgence in health conditions, it's mainly because of lack of physical activity, not food habits. So I would like to give some feedback from my point of view and the things that I know, but know that I'm not going to judge and choose winners based on which side I personally support. Okay, so now for the whole of team, yes, definitely food habits are moving in a fast way. Like just 10 years ago we didn't have fast food, right? We didn't have as much access to McDonald's or KFC or Pizza Hut, and things have evolved drastically, and people are facing challenges to adapt to it and find a balance. So that is definitely something that is a problem with the society as such right now. Okay, but as we are approaching only the topic, I can tell you that yes, we are able to meet the demands of people. We are employing millions and millions of people in these food sectors, and also that progression in terms of modifying or optimizing food production is definitely progressive. Okay, so you guys made some very valid points. Now moving on to the against team. So Gauri made a lot of valid points that we don't really enjoy foods that are very familiar to us. We go for these different things and we don't really prefer vegetables, right? They're not as attractive to us as other foods these days are. But in fact, the foods that are familiar to us and foods that we might consider boring are actually healthy and nutritious, right? So that is one of the points that you tried to make with the example that you gave, right? Okay, so, and we are mimicking Western habits which are not helping our health. And Harshini's points were that certain habits, like we're not chewing enough anymore, we are eating quickly, and that we're not buying local produce, seasonal produce, and that there is a surge in heart diseases, diabetes, etc. And Atharva, so you said food habits these days disrupt circadian rhythm and the biological clock, right? So these were your points, and that there is also food crisis these days, and we end up wasting a lot of food because a lot of food is being produced, but at the same time we also have food crisis in the world, right? So yes, I definitely agree with these points. People don't know how to adapt to all the progression that's happening around them, and there is also, you know, food wastage, food crisis, and increase in plastic usage is definitely a problem. Okay, when we are looking at evolving food habits, definitely there are other impacts that our habits are making on the environment, on the world. Okay, it's not just about our personal body. Food habits have huge impact as a, when we are talking as a human, community. Okay, so these are all very valid points. Now, some things I'll point out. The CDC, it doesn't necessarily say that diet is not important. Only physical activity is. Like even very recently, there were guidelines published that are asking people to reduce consumption of trans fat, consumption of sugar, consumption of saturated fat. So all of these are guidelines that are basically saying limit your intake of foods that are heavy in these items, which just comes down to fast food, right? So there are some factual errors that I will not go into. And sorry. So the other thing is, again, I wanted to point out that food habits also have other impacts like food wastage and use of plastics, right? Like we manufacture at such a high rate and every single food comes in packaged plastic item. That is one thing. And another feedback I wanted to give for the FOR team is the argument was kind of taken in a direction where it's about healthy and unhealthy food. I feel you guys could have, you know, emphasized more on the healthy food options that are available and made convenient these days. Right, you get packaged foods that are healthy, right? Which can match the nutritional quality of the food that we used to make at home. It's not necessarily just pizzas and burgers out there. Like you get packaged foods that are actually healthy, right? So that is another thing we didn't have before. Yes, we have lack of time these days, but we are also having healthier food options to choose from if you wanted to. So you guys could have emphasized more on that. Now, for the against team, definitely time restriction is a factor that people need to consider when their food habits are taken into consideration. Okay, so they would have to opt for these foods. They can't necessarily always make the food at home. They might not even have proper kitchen setup. Somebody who is earning 6,000 or 7,000 a month is not going to have the facility to make homemade food every day when he has to run to work and work 12, 13 hours, right? And junk food is also cheaper. That's definitely the case right now. Like you can get fast food for such a cheap price that people would rather go for it than go through the pains of cooking. So all of these points taken into consideration, I will judge the best speakers based on how convincing their argument was, not about whether it was factually, facts would be taken into consideration, but more about how you presented yourself, how convincing you made the argument. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. So now I will announce the winners after I discuss with the other judge. Okay.
Thank you so much, Bharti. So can we hear it from Ranjana?
Yeah. Well, congratulations to everyone who spoke today. You all spoke really well. All your points are very valid on both sides. All speakers, presented yourself really well. So like the FOR team, Priyanka, Abhishek, and Sudhanshu. Sorry, Abhishek sent a message. Abhishek, if you can unmute yourself and say what point it was.
I missed one point. That was nowadays people are shifting towards vegan diet and vegetarian diet.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay. Okay, I think you already mentioned that during your speech. Yeah. Okay. So Priyanka, Abhishek, and Sudhanshu, good job on transition in food habits. You spoke for it is progressive. Okay. So like Priyanka said, like habits are like people's choice. It's not like anyone's forcing them to, opt for a burger or opt, you have to eat a Domino's. There is no set rule like that. Um, right? And also, like she said, like, there are, people's knowledge is also increasing on what foods are healthy and what foods they can opt for. So all foods, like one thing I'd like to point out is all foods are good. Okay, there are no bad foods or good foods. All foods give you fuel. Okay, and is it healthy for you? That's the real question here. Okay, and Abhishek, like you said, everyone's transitioning to vegetarianism and veganism. The question is it, see, anything you can make it unhealthy. Okay, anything can be high in saturated fats. Like, Harshini, right? Harshini or Gauri, I think one of you said about how like increase in diabetes and heart diseases. Was it Gauri? Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it was me.
Yeah. So again, it's increase of saturated fat. So again, like, and even Sudhanshu spoke about how you're supposed to, prefer natural foods. And the other thing that what Bharati mentioned was again, very true. Like, it's not just, it became more of an unhealthy versus healthy. They could, like, there are a lot of foods that are healthy that are, taken from our grandmother's kitchens that are made more accessible now. Like, for instance, like you have ready-made chapatis, rotis, you have idiyappam. All these are ready to eat foods. Like, you just have to like probably cook them for like a couple of minutes, and you don't have to necessarily prefer a burger over eating home cooked foods if that was your case in point, right? So, and for the against team, Gauri, Harshini, and Atharva, there's one thing that really stood out. Okay, please stop me if I've been mistaken. Like Atharva said, like fermentation was is not known anymore, or the yogurts that are available in the market don't have the what microbial content is destroyed. Was that your point, Atharva?
It's not a I didn't mean to say destroyed. I meant to say that the diversity that we can find in homemade dahi or curd, they just have one strain of bacteria that they grow. So you can't reproduce it if you wanted to make homemade curd, right?
Right. Okay. Right. And yeah. So okay, that I'm not going to point out if you were right or wrong, but yeah, good points put out. So, like you said, the circadian rhythm again is disrupted. And Harshini, how you said like chewing, I know that's very, very common. That's something that we've noticed very often. And, when you're just watching like, TV or whatever, and you're just not chewing properly, right? Yeah, I think that's about it. Most of the points are covered by Bharati, so I don't want to repeat them again. But yeah, good job on it. Good job to everyone who spoke, and good luck. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I also want to add that you guys did a great job. And the points were just, getting fired left and right. And I had to scribble fast in my notes because all of you were coming up with points really fast. So today was definitely more intense compared to yesterday. And all of you spoke really well, especially because you had time to prepare, I think. All of you came back here with like really good points. Okay. So yeah, Harini, we'll send you the names now, or
Yeah, all right. So you can have a talk with Ranjana and send me the results. We'll announce it at 8 p.m. sharp, guys. So you'll get your results at 8 p.m. So thank you so much, everybody. And from my end, it was very nice to hear a lot of new and interesting points from all the 6 speakers. So each of you had your own stand, and the rebuttal was really nice. So I felt it was very hard for me to give the time limit, like the last 5 minutes and last 3 minutes, but
Well done and all the very best. And all six of you.
I also want to add one point at the end, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Bharti.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot this while I was summarizing. You can gain weight whether you eat homemade food or not. So that's a point that I really wanted to put across, because there are like 45 people in here. So I want you guys to know. Okay. So, I mean, all the points were good, but this is just something that stood out for me. You can eat any food that you want and still gain weight. You can eat any food that you want and still lose weight. It all comes down to how many calories you're consuming and whether you're expending the right amount. Okay. So just wanted to clarify, because I forgot to clarify when I was summarizing. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much, Bharati and Ranjana, for spending a good evening with us. So all the best, guys. Thank you so much. We'll know the results by 8 p.m. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you.